Give you some little life updates. I know that's what you're really here for, because my mirror almost fell on me. The flesh will submit. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Do I want to talk about this today? Here we are. I guess we're going to. Hey you guys, what is up? Welcome back. I've got a somewhat different but unique video for you today. Very unprofessional. Let me just go ahead and say that first, because I do not claim to be a makeup person. I do what works for me. I want to give you a life update. You're probably going to watch this video and go, what is she doing? Why is she doing that? She's wasting her time. Why did she even do that step? Make sure you like and subscribe, because that way you'll know whenever we put out some new content. You won't have to go searching for us. We will come to you. Before I get going, let's talk about the t-shirt. It says called to complete, not compete. That is our big mission with Prophesy, and especially with Gosh Girl. We want to empower women to unite, come together, love each other, support each other, and realize that we are called by God to complete the kingdom, not compete for the kingdom. We all know that the treasures of this world will not satisfy our souls, but I do sometimes see competition for the kingdom, which is crazy to me. All right, let's get started, and then I'll give you some little life updates. I know that's what you're really here for, because my life is so interesting. I have already lumied. I've done the cleanser, and I've done pH balance. Why is my nose? Oh, I forgot to tell you that my mirror almost fell on me. Woo! Sister, you stay right there. Thank you. I am feeling a little bit under the weather today, like for the past 3 or so days. And literally yesterday, I sat on the couch the entire day. I decided I'm not doing that today. So I'm filming this and putting on makeup and making myself get ready for the day so that I'll feel better, at least mentally. The flesh will submit. That's another vlog for another day. This is good eye cream. This is by Kylie Cosmetics. I don't want to get too much into this because, again, I don't really know what I'm doing here. But I think that for today, since we are going a little more natural, I'm going to conceal before I put foundation on. Not really sure why. I'm just feeling that in my heart. So that's what I'm going to do. But let's talk life, okay? Okay. Christina has been in a really weird season where she wants to live in her next season. We all know that I very much want to be a mom. But knowing that about myself, knowing that I want to be a biological mom so bad, I have been like just not living in my current season. A wife, and to be a teacher, and to be a worship leader. I've been doing all of those things, but I feel like I've been like not fully being those things. Does that make sense? Probably not. So there's this pear tree in our front yard, and back in like February, I'd say February, maybe March, this pear tree had some beautiful blooms. Do I want to talk about this today? Here we are. I guess we're going to. Beautiful blooms. And one thing you need to know about me, I guess, is that the property that I live on is family property, and I have lived on this property since the 5th grade. This is also Kylie. This is actually a concealer. We moved out here. And so I've seen this pear tree. This is too much for today. Oh well. We're doing it. We are doing it. I've seen this pear tree, or these pear trees, there's actually more than one, many times in my life. Walked by them, rode the bicycle by them, rode the golf cart by them, rode the school bus, rode in the car. Like, I've seen these pear trees in many different seasons. And this pear tree, on this day that I noticed it most, had the most beautiful white blooms I have ever seen. Look at the video. I'm not really sure what this is called, but stay tuned for a different vlog because I want to... The Lord is really speaking to me about this tree. I've been looking at it for several days now, but stay tuned for a vlog about what I'm hearing. But I was just like mesmerized by these white blooms. And the Lord just began speaking to me. Before the fruit can come, the bloom has to come. The blooming season was beautiful. And then fast forward from February, March-ish to April, and the blooms are gone. Hadn't really noticed the tree much anymore. I was throwing a birthday party here for Philip, and we had like our closest friends and family. The theme of the party was like a gun range, like bring your guns and we're gonna shoot stuff, blow stuff up, you know, that whole guy thing. All the women were inside with their babies, and all the men were outside with the guns. Typical, right? Typical gathering. Women congregating, men congregating. Christina does not have a baby. I was torn. Like, there was a moment in my kitchen alone and just like really contemplating, what do I do? Do I go outside and enjoy the party with the men, or do I stay inside with the ladies? And the Lord just spoke to me again. The bloom comes before the fruit. I made this really weird and hard decision to go outside. Woo! Look at it!
There you go, Bill.
It probably is one of the best decisions that I've ever made, but one of the weirdest and most hard decisions too. I just want to make sure that everything looks nice, everything feels nice, people have what they need, and like everybody's entertained and everybody's good and everybody's getting along. And so I've got all that in my head already, and then on top of that, like personally, where do I want to be? All right, I'm going in now with contour powder. I like to do my contour powder, my blush, and my bake all at the same time because I feel like they can all bake. It's not just setting powder that bakes. I feel like everything can bake. So I put it all in the same time. That was in April when I had that epiphany, made that weird decision. And then since then, I've had some confirming words. Almost like, good job, you were obedient, so now here's a word to move you forward, to motivate you. Because I feel like that's the way the Lord works. He gives you an assignment, and whether or not you're obedient determines your next step in the assignment. Now we got blush. This is also Kylie, Baddie on the Block. Fast forward to June. I was going to the mailbox, and guess what I noticed? The pear tree. Guess what was on it? Pears. immediately I started hearing the Lord, just confirming some things in my heart that I kind of already knew, and that I just was not really making the time to think about or process. Just all over again. The bloom must come before the fruit. I don't know. I just feel like the Lord is telling me, and maybe He can tell you through this video, that we must operate in our current season. And sometimes that current season is the blooming season. If you think about it, Christina, since January, has kind of put herself in this spotlight of sorts, and I am blooming under a microscope, finding out who I really am, finding out what my passions are, finding out like all these things about myself that I feel like I had to find out before I ever could get a baby. Because if I didn't, my baby would be going through that journey with me, and that's not very fair. I don't think that's very parental. And the fruit comes, and I say that so nonchalantly, like it's easy, but it's not. It's really not easy. Every time I come to the end of a cycle, I go through this spiral and roller coaster of emotions, and a lot of that has to do with just hormones, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've been doing this for so long now, and it's getting redundant and it's getting aggravating. But at the same time, with each month, there is a new word from the Lord. And so I really want to use this moment right now to tell you, you must operate in your current season. This blooming that I've been going through really since before January, like say the beginning of COVID, this blooming season that I'm in has been so transformative for me. Just a courage and a boldness and a confidence that is coming from within, and it's coming from Him. I just want to encourage you to operate in whatever the season is that you're in right now. Don't operate from the season that you were in or the season that you want to be in, because that's what I was doing. I was becoming so consumed with, what will it be like when I have a baby? Let me go ahead and get the nursery ready, which is fine. I think that's an act of faith. I think we have to put feet on our prayers, and I'll still keep doing the nursery. But for some reason in my mind, I thought that one could not coexist with the other. I'm going to go ahead and go with my eyes while I keep talking. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's the only thing I use right now because, I mean, my gosh, look at the options. Operate in your current season. If you want to be married and you're dating somebody, and my gosh, I could talk about this for years and years because I lived it for years and years. Philip and I dated for 10 years before he ever even proposed. We were dating 10 years. Sis, I see you. Like, I get that. You know in your heart of hearts that you're supposed to be with Him, then live in that season. Date Him. Fall in love with Him. Like, do these things. Now, make Him wait. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Learn each other. Use that time to become best friends. I fully believe that our marriage is what it is and has been through these 3 years of our fertility. We were best friends before we ever got married, and that's super, super, super important. Find out who you are. Do what you've got to do to make the necessary decisions. You say you want to be something. Don't try to be that right now. I know that sounds crazy. Is that weird? I'm sure that probably sounds very weird and kind of backwards, but I really feel like we get so caught up in what it will be like, what it could be like, what it should be like, and we aren't really focusing on what it really is and what God wants to teach us through these current moments. Whatever that means for worship leading, whatever that means for my church, whatever that means for being a teacher, whatever that means for prophesy, whatever that means. Because when the baby comes, I'm going to have to live in that current season and do that to the fullest. I think I was so unhappy with the way this journey is happening because I wasn't allowing God to teach me, and I wasn't accepting of the fact that it is what it is right now. Which is easy to do. That's easy to be sometimes. Pause 1 second because I want to go get my notes on this. This is just what I've gotten so far, and I honestly didn't plan on getting so deep into this today, but I feel led to kind of go this route while my makeup kind of sets. Fruit is an expression of what is happening in someone's heart and how, or their spirit, and how it manifests in their external actions. So I think that this word from the Lord, the bloom comes before the fruit, has more to do with me than just having a baby. Obviously, the Lord doesn't speak to just one aspect of our lives. When He speaks to all aspects of our lives. And so for fruit in the Bible, it's expressing to mean that something happens within us and then that comes out of us. And I think that the something happening within me is that blooming season. Bloom in the Bible is about our hearts and the reconciled relationship between us and God. He's constantly working to reconcile His relationship with us. Not that He was the one who messed up, but we were. The Bible verses about blossoming shows us that God desires to heal us. And Christina didn't realize it until recently that there's a lot of healing that has to go on within her, things that I had suppressed for a very long time. He wants to heal us, forgive us of our sins, and then to love us. And He's doing all that simultaneously with every day, with every breath, with every experience. A pear in Christianity frequently appears in the connection with Jesus Christ and alludes to His love for mankind. It epitomizes the Christian promise of salvation and eternal life. To me, this is all about finding a deeper and real, more real connection with Jesus. You know, just making more time for Him. And I've actually started a 5 a.m. morning routine, which I hope to be able to share with you soon. It's been very, very tricky for me to master that routine. And I know that because of what I'm doing in that routine, that's why the enemy doesn't want me to get that mastered, but this too shall pass. It will happen. The shape of a pear has represented the female form in the art world for centuries, creating a strong symbol of fruitfulness and femininity. You know the word. And again, this is not very professional. This is rough notes from Christina's journal. Pear facts. 3 to 10 years to bear fruit. They do not produce fruit every year. Young pear trees take several years to mature enough to produce fruit. Many pear trees will start producing a small amount of fruit in their 3rd year. Praise Jesus. Full fruit production may not occur until 4 to 6 years into the tree's life. When I hear the tree's life, I compare that to Christina's life, and I honestly have not been alive. So if I think about being alive and really living and being alive in Christ, I have not been that for a very long time. There's been an act of going through motions and just faking it till we make it, because I have been very anxious. I have been very depressed for many different reasons, and allowing it to really control me and consume me, that I have not been living. This pear tree has not been living. And so now that this pear tree has been brought back to life, we're 3 years in. Actually, we're probably more about 4 years in, and we're blooming. Taking care of a fruit tree. Are you ready? I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. I guess there's just going to have to be a part B to this vlog. Water the young tree well during dry spells. Apply a small amount of fertilizer early in the year. January. Prophesy launched in January. And prune annually to keep the tree healthy. March. And I haven't really talked too much about that, but I feel like March was maybe a pruning month for me. The symbolism, and I wish I could go into detail, but I haven't confirmed with some people that I can, so I'm not going to right now. So what is my current season? My current season is creating and operating Prophesying Gosh Girl. That's my current season. I need to be everything that I can be for this season so that God can do what he wants to do through my story. And my current season is also believing for a miracle in fertility. I need PCOS to be reversed. I need my insulin to be fixed, just completely fixed, in order for this miracle to take place. Just going with the flow and doing whatever, just operating in this season for what this season is. I don't know if any of that makes sense to you or if it resonates with you, but let me just say that the Lord did not give us seasons in our lives to say, ha ha, you gotta wait. And I'm talking to myself. I have asked the Lord so much, like, why do I have to wait for this so long? And the only thing I can think about is there was a time where my Nana's house and her property was no longer in our family line. All of my life, I believed that that house and that property was going to be mine. And then it ended up to not be mine. And for 3 years, I had to believe that I would get it back. For 3 years, I had to wait to get that back. And I every time I think about waiting for this baby, I go back to that. And I think about how I had to wait for that and how whenever I finally got it, there was so much more of an appreciation because I had to wait. Bloom. Remember, the bloom represents reconciliation. Reconcile your relationship with Christ. And you're probably going, Christina, I love God. I talk to him every day. Yes, but can you get deeper in any other area of your relationship with him? There's got to be more, right? There's got to be something that we can get deeper in with him. There is no bounds to his love and to having a relationship with Christ. Is there something? And there probably is. You're probably thinking of it right now. I know I can think of several things that I need to get better at as a Christian, as a follower of Christ, as a lover, as a child of God. I've got to get, it may not even be about prayer. It may not even be about worship or reading the word. Are we praying for people who have asked us to pray for them? Or did we just say, yeah, I'll pray for you? Are we believing for other people to have a baby? Are we celebrating other people? See, there's just more to our relationship with Christ than what it is with me and him. It is also about other people. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but that wasn't planned. I just hear the Lord so strongly saying the bloom has to come before the fruit. There has to be reconciliation. There has to be a restoration of love of who you really are. Okay? Cool. Right now, life update. This is it. Christina and Philip are 100% still trying. A very hard cycle this time. Because of all the confirmations, because of how I have felt physically. Yeah, that happened. I don't even really know what that is. Go lay down somewhere and quit clanking with your fingernails. I really don't even know what happened. I was editing yesterday. I was so excited. I was going to get it all finished. I literally had 5 minutes left, if that. Had to add in just a few little things. I apologize for my dog's toenails making noise in the background. It's so aggravating. I was so close to getting it done, and then the sound just went missing. I don't really know what happened. That's never happened to me before. It's now a Monday. I'm going to finish this vlog up, close it out for you. That way it can be made live, because I know that it's a word that people need to. I'm recording all this without using my microphone. We are still very much trying, And I still very much believe that I will have my own biological child. I think that we are closer than ever. I think that the things that I'm having to experience are definitely on purpose. Obviously, we all know there is a reason, and we all know that whenever we have to wait for something, I think this is the gist of my message today, is that whenever we have to wait for something, it makes the thing that we're waiting for even better, because when we finally do get it, we're so much more appreciative, take better care of it. We are better people whenever we get to finally experience that or enjoy that. I know that's what's going to happen. So we are still very much believing for that. We are still very much trying for that. But we are also really just trying to live in our current season, be young and in love, and kind of find our joy again. Because in the whole scheme of things, I'm speaking for both of us, but more so for myself, we've kind of lost this, I don't want to say love, we haven't lost love, but we've lost this like just zest that we once used to have when we were younger and didn't have all of these crazy things to worry about. So we're not worrying about that anymore, and we're really just living our lives young and in love and believing God at the same time, and just kind of letting Him do what He wants to do. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your prayers. And I've heard so many different stories of, you should try this, and have you done this, and have you thought about this? And the answer is yes. We have thought about all of the different avenues that we could go, but I'm not giving up on the Lord right now. I'm not ready to do that. This is where we are. So thank you for your love. Thank you for your support, your prayers. Questions obviously are welcome. I think that this conversation is not over, and we are just going to keep on keeping on. But in the meantime, I do want to just operate in my season, recognize it for what it is, let the Lord do what He wants to do through that, and enjoy the process. The process doesn't have to be miserable. I'm finding that we can actually enjoy the process. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm also very excited where Prophesy and where Gosh Girl are headed, because I'm actually kind of entertaining some avenues of giving some more speaking engagements, like for myself, worship leading and that kind of stuff. That's exciting because I've never spoken in front of a crowd about this. Obviously, I'm a teacher, and so I speak in front of crowds a lot, and it's mostly kids. The intimidation that comes with that, I think, is a whole nother level when it comes to adults. And so I really feel, though, a push to share these things in a live, raw, and real, unedited session, and let the Lord work through me in that way. So praying about that and just kind of seeing where that will take us. I'm expectant, and I'm happy, and just ready to see the Lord do whatever He wants to do. I'm looking because this weird truck keeps passing by my house. Weird. I guess that's it for this vlog. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it was a word that will strike your heart and really help you to apply and implement some things in your life that are practical and that are going to help you, but are directly from the Lord and are anointed and provoking and just all the things. I hope it's all the things for you, and that you too will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You hear me? That's kind of been in my heart lately. We will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I just love you so much, and I thank you for tuning in. Be sure you like and subscribe. Share this video to a friend that you know needs it. And remember, love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor. I'll see you guys later. Bye.